Okay, folks, hopefully I've figured this out and we are live. I'm a little late, but welcome to the Slope Podcast. Actually, trying to figure out my audio here, so if you're listening, let me know if you're hearing echo. There's an echo. Bummer. How about now? Can you still hear me? Or am I not talking anymore? Yes, you can hear me, or no? I can hear you and no echo. Okay, so that explains that. And the sound is decent. Decent. All right. Decent's good enough for tonight. Okay, my name is Keith Brooks. This is the Slope Live broadcast, and I recorded an entire program last week in private mode with no audio. So I have things that I'm working on. I've set up a stream deck and working out how to do auto switching and take care of the microphones. We got that working. Got the screens working. I'm working on 2 laptop screens, so it's interesting. I have adjusted my example room here, but before I started, I just wanted to talk about Sloped a little bit. Sloped is a platform that is making an effort to connect with businesses who do architecture design, landscape design, interiors, woodworking, millwork, what else? Set design. I think there's a few others. Anybody that's in the design fields using AutoCAD, Revit, ArchiCAD, or any of the other products to produce 2D drawings, but also using Sketchup to do design iteration, design development, massing models, those kinds of things, and then offloading that into a 2D program to create drawings. Layout is the platform that SketchUp has made to produce 2D drawings, and for many people, this product is looked down upon as inferior. And I think in the last 10 years, it's been proven pretty convincingly that layout is not that kind of application. It's a legitimate professional tool that can produce top quality drawings for permit sets, construction documents, whatever you need. So we're endeavoring to show what layout can do, show the professionals that are doing that kind of work. And we're also testing and certifying freelancers who use the product this way, SketchUp and Layout, to produce drawings, so that businesses who have a need, whatever that need may be, can then bring freelancers into their workflow and enhance their employment possibilities and bring in help. So that's the way the story started for Slope. The 3 founders, myself, one of my partners, Joanne Swisterski, has an interior design business. Kendall Springer's an architect out of Utah, and the 3 of us, and my field of expertise is in millwork and cabinets and furniture. And we were needing help in our studios, so we developed Slope to try and find freelancers who that we could then hire. And what we found out is really there's just a general misunderstanding about layout, and we're trying to change that. And we see that many businesses find it difficult to imagine switching if you're in a full AutoCAD workflow and you use SketchUp to either get to renderings or just imagine your designs. The idea that you have to then output an export file from SketchUp to another CAD program. I understand people have workflows that have been worked on for years and years, and they're effective tools, but why go through all that trouble when layout can do the work that you need? And what better way to do that than to have an outside platform like Slope step in and do the consulting and help you build a template, figure your workflow out without all the process of disturbing your current workflow. So that's what we're here to do. We're here to show the value of layout, and our modeling processes are really just here to give us something to go then and show you what layout can do. And so I've been kind of switching back and forth and showing off my template a little bit and talking to my partners this week. I think I decided I'm just going to start demonstrating some things that this template does, in particular stacked viewports and how those work in conjunction with SketchUp. And so I'm going to try and break down the process, because we have this term now called SketchUp Ready Modeling. And SketchUp Ready Modeling, excuse me, that's incorrect. Layout Ready Modeling. And what that is modeling in this product with your drawings in mind. And you may ask, well, how does one, I can't seem to get that little, maybe I got it that time? Yeah, okay. It's bothering me. So layout ready modeling is what? It's really deciding that the drawings, the permit set that you need to hand off to all your contractors, or to the city or the township or the state or whoever is asking you to supply drawings for approval, that is the ultimate deliverable. It's not the rendering. Rendering is just part of the presentation. The real thing that you have to deliver is drawings. At the end of the day, we're still not fully in a marketplace where 3D can replace two-dimensional drawings, flat sheets of paper, PDFs. I'd love it if we got there, but we're not going to be there for a little while. So it's important to recognize then that drafting has never changed, really. I think it's suffered a lot because drafting just isn't taught anymore. Computer presentation is taught in the schools now, and design is more focused on, but old school drafting that stopped in the 90s. While I'm hearing that there's resurgence in certain schools, it's not as strong. So drafting principles aren't necessarily the first thing that we think about when we go to layout. We're just trying to throw things on. We don't think about line weights, but there are methods to establish line weights inside of layout, and you accomplish that using a number of different features that are inside of SketchUp. So the first one obviously is tags. And tags, for some people, aren't important, and why I don't know, but tags allow a lot of control. And you would say, well, it's just visibility. I say, well, visibility is everything when you get to layout. So having a very robust tag tree and organization system is important. My system is not going to be what you're used to if you're in architecture and interior design and you're working with entire houses. My system is specifically geared towards individual room construction. I don't have to focus so much on how rooms in a house interrelate. The architects have already done that. I'm strictly worried about millwork. So my tag tree is a little bit different, but in some ways it's the same. We have a folder for structural tags. In my particular case, I have a folder with different types of spaces, and those are based on my template, which maybe down the road we'll talk about. And I have different kinds of sections because I'm doing something unique that I'm going to start showing off in this template, and that's section cuts without the need for the actual section cut tool, which eliminates the need for 1,000 scenes. And scenes are listed right up here if you're not familiar with these. This is how we take a look at the model that we have, and sorry, I'm gonna turn this down. I had it running and it's not live anyway, so it's starting to interrupt me. Yeah, so here we are. Sections have to do with how this room is broken down. Cabinet groups are groups of cabinets in different configurations, and I group them in order so that I can turn different pieces of a room off when it comes to layout and the views that I want to see in any particular room. And then the goodies come in. I've got objects, and we've got cabinet parts, which is a whole slew of things. Different types of cabinets, which is also a whole slew of things. Dashed lines, which when you get to layout, again, different types of dashes and where they're located. Having this control inside of layout with these views is very important. The next thing I have is hardware, and then I have, we call them surrounding items or exterior items, things that aren't a part of millwork or cabinets, appliances, lighting, plumbing, tile, and then the ever-present other tag. So tags with the other major one is scenes. With scenes, allow us to create different types of views of any particular room, house, object, set, exterior landscape, whatever. Scenes allow you to take pictures basically of your space, and you can create a lot of those and elevations of every single room, section cuts, plan views, 3D rendered views, whatever you want to do. So tags and scenes work together. I turn off what I want to see in a particular scene. So let's take a look at what that actually is. Here's a plan view of this room, and I have certain things that I can turn on and off. So we'll go to the objects here, and we'll start turning things off that I know will go away. And that's going to have to do with this one right here. So, you know what? Maybe I don't have anything tagged yet. Doesn't look like it. Oh, something went away. Countertop. Now you can start to see what tags have to do with. I'm turning on something above these cabinets so I can see what's underneath. That's important for a plan view. If I don't want to see a countertop, then I have to switch it off. Now for me, I like to have my countertops turned on. And that brings in the next important piece of equipment. And I'm going to get rid of all these because they're not important. What is important is styles. So these three particular things are the keystones to working within layout. Now that's generally true. I don't want to oversimplify it, but if you can understand these 3 panels inside of SketchUp, you're setting yourself up really well. The other thing that you want to do before I go too far is understand groups and components. And this is vital in the Entity Info panel here. I have, let me come out. So we have this tag 301 room name. Now that tag is in spaces, and it's right here. So the whole space is named under that tag. So if I have more than one room, when I go over to layout, and I can show you this right now, let me identify that and bring this panel over, because this is the link to SketchUp. And here we have tags, and right here I have spaces. So if this elevation is actually pointing to this room in another file. So I'm not connected yet, but just for the sake, now you understand. What we're trying to do is group things so they show up, and then this particular set of viewports is only showing this room and nothing else. And this is radically important if you have massive models. If you only want to see certain things within a viewport, it's great to be able to turn the rest of the model off and not have it visible, because that's less processing power that layout has to use to render this set of viewports. That's not a big deal if you're talking about 2 or 3 pages, but if you've got, like some people, 50 pages, and there's massive detail in each one of these elevations or rooms, that's a lot of computing that the layout software has to do to render a page. And this is where layout becomes clunky for people, but mostly it's because they don't understand how to control what is being viewed inside these viewports. So this particular template is based on stacked viewports, and those stacked viewports work with layers. And so every single page that has an elevation is using this set of layers, and I try to associate different tag elements on each layer. And if I find the particular viewport, let's say I have the floor here, and I turn all of these other ones off so you can't manipulate them, this locks it. So the only one left that's open to use is the floor viewport in this particular elevation. So what I can do, what I recognize even right now, is that there are things, and actually what I'm going to make it more obvious, we'll turn off the hidden lines. You'll see these dashed lines go away right now. Goodbye. And then we have appliances. There's no appliances in this room, so I can turn that one off. And then we have cabinets. And then, oh, okay, so that's good. So there's something, I've got 2 turned on, and that means I have some things turned off. So hey, this is a learning experience for everybody. How about that? So how about if I do this? And then we're going to select this one again, and I'm going to come into my objects, dashes, and I'm going to turn that off. So now that viewport on this tag layer no longer has that there. And this is specifically for walls, cabinet profiles, and doors. So there should be no cabinets here. If I turn off the floor, so this has not been dialed in yet. So let's go back here and let's turn off the cabinet objects. No, excuse me, cabinet. I'm going to turn off all the objects, and now it's just for Oh no, that's cabinet profiles. Yeah, I'm forgetting what I have this here for. Yeah, this has to have a different style. And that's where this comes in. This is a unique thing. I don't know if anybody's discovered this about layout, but this is a problem. It's been verified on the forums that viewports can lose their style and they don't update or stay updated. And it's a problem that I haven't solved yet. So I have to come in here and switch this and get it to look like that. And then I can turn this one off. And now I turn on the cabinets behind. And what I don't like about that is this should not be hybrid. It should be raster. And now you can kind of see we got some depth, which is traditional drafting technique there. Heavier lines are around the outside edge of a set of objects. And let's see, we go to cabinets, and I'm going to make sure this one, it's got cabinet outlines. And now we have cabinet outlines, and we can get rid of that and take a look at it. And then hidden lines. And I just want you to watch me go through this because this is the easiest way I've found to deal with stacked viewports. It's not so much complicated. As long as you know how to turn things on and off. It's best if you're working with a group of them to keep them all off and turn on the one that you want to work on and then highlight it and then do what you got to do here. And then you've accomplished your goal. And then the floor is the thick line. And so now we've got this baseline in our drawing. So now it looks really good. So that's kind of fun to watch the process happen between SketchUp and layout. And you've seen, I don't know about you, but this is getting pretty close to traditional drafting, at least how I learned it on the drafting board and then later on AutoCAD. And we're getting something approximating traditional drafting using layout. And this is a 5-stack viewports. Some people will say that's too many. I'm maybe heading that direction because there's the power of this particular product. When SketchUp brought in the layout panel, the amount of control you have is astounding here. And what's really fascinating is if I want to change the line weight of my floor, I can now click on this. I can take it up to 2, hit OK, and it'll thicken that line up. And you just saw it grow. So there are some really nuanced things that you can do now with 2D line weight within, and I'm just barely touching the surface of what's possible here. There's I don't know, maybe I have those here. Yeah, here's another thing that can be. This is a detail page in my template. These are scrapbooks, and how these are being controlled is the very same method. It's using layout to use different styles for different layers, so you can show interiors in a smoked out version like this without it overpowering, and get a sense of the exterior and the interior at the same time. And that's all controlled through this one single panel. And again, this comes back to the very important factor, let me get back to this one, that you have to understand groups, you have to understand styles, and then you have to understand scenes. And this is where it gets a little technical from my point of view for, and you know, we can go back here. Maybe I need to take a look and see if we got any. Whoop, lost my. Sound is decent. No chats yet. Okay, so I'm gonna put some of this stuff back here. And what I was gonna say, this is why it's so important to know how these three work together. I need to have tags so I can control what is seen in a particular scene, and then I need to have styles to give scenes or give particular parts of a scene different line weights or visuals, because there's different things that you can do even with styles to really make your plans pop. Someone like Nick Sonder, who is well known in the SketchUp community for his early work on developing these systems for SketchUp and layout, his method is to use color. That's not my particular thing. I think he has mastered that presentation process. It's actually really has had a major influence on what I do, which is only me saying that scenes allow you, the user, to develop a very unique and to you type of presentation drawing. Hints of color, simplistic line weights. You can even bring in actual site photos and blend those in. So there's lots of things to do, but it's massively important to understand groups and components and making sure your geometry is properly grouped or componentized, if I can say it that way, and then assigning all of those the proper set of groups or of tags. And as I continue to live stream, this is going to probably become my focus. I'm going to work a little bit on modeling designs. This is a little idea I've had for a while that I'm going to play with, and we'll get this into drawings and start playing around with it so you can see how it develops. I think you're probably going to be asking me questions, and feel free to put those in the chat, or if you're watching this after the live stream, don't be afraid to leave a comment about your questions. But I think most will be shocked that we're dealing with only 5 scenes and we're getting this kind of output. It's going to take a little bit of time to show this off. I think it's something new that hasn't been seen before. It's something that was developed by a freelance professional that I know through our company Sloped. His name's Tom Munson. He's out of New Mexico, and he helped me develop the idea because there was just a massive time waster in cabinets, in the cabinet industry. We work based on rooms, and I was in the habit of stacking up a whole series of rooms here, maybe 25 at a time, depending on the job. And taking care of the drawings was a nightmare, because I could not use any of the standard views in SketchUp. I had to have section cuts by the hundreds just to show all the different elevations, and scenes in the almost as many. And it was very difficult, and each job was different because there are different types of rooms. And so we developed this template that puts all rooms at the 0, 0 point, and then they're on their own space tags, and you can have 30 rooms stacked up inside of here, and the only one that you see is the one that you have on. And then the native views work, all the back, front, left, right views work for this room. And then how do we do section cuts? And that's where we've controlled walls using sections. So all these walls are broken down, and they can be turned off, and the cabinets attached to them can be turned off to get out of the way. So if I want to have a view of this wall, I can turn this wall here off, and the cabinets, the islands, all of those will turn off, and all I see is this far wall. And that allows us to just have 5 scenes, all these tags, our styles, just a few, and then when we head into layout, we have this result. And this result right here is coming out of a 4-walled room, and there's no section cuts. So I'm getting this view of this room, which I believe is this one here. So, well, if you do an actual front elevation view in SketchUp of this, you just see this wall. You don't see these cabinets or any of this stuff. So that's how we've tackled it. See, we've got what amounts to a section cut there of those cabinets. I can turn, if I group these correctly, I can get rid of this. I can see a window in there. I can do a lot of different things to make it look right. And all without section cuts, which is astounding. This is the power that I'm talking about, the power that my partners and I have discovered. Layout is actually a lot stronger than you would ever imagine at producing drawings. And what I'm trying to do in particular, is show how powerful it is with line weights and traditional drafting styles. You can get something very close to the drafting board if you so desire it. And you can do traditional layouts and templates and title blocks, and layout definitely has auto text. There's some things missing that I would really love to have, but I won't bore you with those things right now, as they're a little more complicated. So what I'm going to do is go back in here and play around a little bit with this model, just because I feel like working on it right now. And you can watch some of my modeling techniques and critique me if you feel like it. I don't claim to know everything. I just learned something today about scale tool from Aaron on a YouTube video, so I got lots to learn and discover. I think where I was gonna go with this thing, I think I'm gonna, maybe I'll go leave those up there. Maybe not. Let me try and get. There we go. Found it. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Oh, don't want to do that either. Let's anchor that, get it close, get it let's see. Oh, I guess I can. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. That. Now I'm going to move this over this way. There we go. Okay, so now let's bring this back up. No viewers right now, but that's okay. Oh. Okay, so we're going to now start to try and tackle this little guy here, because I want to have, actually, how tall is this? 34. I wonder if I can go up 6 inches. Oop. I can't. So we'll keep it there. Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna put a countertop in there like that. Oh. Oh, yeah, that's because I need to do that. And then we're going to come over here. And do I have a cabinet with doors? Yes, I do. So we're going to copy that guy. I'm going to come back over here. And we're going to do Command V just to copy it in. Rotate it. Bring it back to the wall. And let me do that. And then we're going to use my favorite tool in the world, which is Curric Stretch. If you don't have Curric Stretch, I invite you to go get it, because it is one of the best tools that I have in my toolbox. Curric Stretch is similar to an AutoCAD function for stretching geometry, and we're going to go 2 inches away from that, and then we're going to go, whoa, golly, I've gotten all turned around here. Sorry about that. And we're going to stretch it again. All it does is grab the vertices, and it only stretches the lines. It doesn't warp like in scaling, using the scaling tool. Oh, looks like I messed up there. I know I want to go 2 inches back. So now my box is 16, which is exactly what I was looking for. How about that? So now we've got 2 inches there, and yeah, I'm going to open a product that I have, which is a is not visible. Okay, so I gotta bring it up this way, and it is gonna be where? Modeling library. Okay, so this is an expanding modeling library that my private studio has been working on. Pardon the pinwheel. And these are elements that I use consistently in cabinet design. We have frameless, a bunch of different variations. We have face frame, bunch of different variations, and this group sits on a toe kick, either toe kick or feet. And this belongs to that group, and so do the tall ones down there. And then this is a group of what we call furniture-based face frames, which have integrated toe kicks. So there's a whole, these are just base cabinets and talls. The walls are all similar and the same. So then we have end panels and of various kinds, and then for frameless we have countertop toe kick and these different types of filler in panel products. And what I'm looking for right now is to use this guy right here. We're going to do copy, and then we're going to do, I don't know if you know this particular keyboard shortcut, but you can switch through the different open windows in SketchUp. Pardon me, I ate a blueberry and that was a mistake. Now I can't speak. You can cycle through these using Command Tab on the Mac. Command Tab, excuse me, not Command Tab, Command tilde, which is the button right next to your the number 1. So I can jump through all these real quick. It's a great little keyboard shortcut. You don't have to come up here to the window and then that kind of thing. You just scan through them real quick. So this one I'm using Command C to copy, and then I'm Command tilde, and then I can hit Command V, and now I have that product in place, and I can do this, and I don't know if I have myself, do I? Oh yeah, I do. Okay. I can move this guy like that. And this one should be sitting on the floor, I would think, which it is. Ooh, it's under the floor. Okay, so we need to work on that. And I'm of a mind that this should be flush. Yes. Correct. And then we're going to pull this back like that. And we're going to push this over 1 inch. And now that's a kind of a traditional end panel with a dead corner. Oh, and then let's make sure that we get this in the right spot. Like so. And then we can do something fun here. Push pull up. So. And then let's see, we are 17. Okay, so I actually want to go back 1 more inch. Use the stretch tool again. We're going to go back 1 inch. And now I can go tilde back to this guy, and I need this one right here. can do Command V, place this, and yeah, do a flip, and then drop that to the floor. Like so, but I don't like this particular thing, so we're going to drop this down below the countertop. And then I'm going to do something there so I can see that extra geometry. Come back here, and now I can activate this geometry. 7.5, yep, that got it. Now if you're wondering what I'm doing there, I have a keyboard shortcut at Q that activates hidden lines so I can see around in the cabinet. I really encourage you as a professional, set up keyboard shortcuts. I've thought about doing a stream about keyboard shortcuts and how to set up mouse and keyboard shortcuts and a Stream Deck. I'm working on a Stream Deck right now. I don't know if anybody has seen this product. It looks like that. And this thing's amazing. You can set SketchUp up with shortcuts on this as well, with macros, and accomplish all kinds of amazing things with it at a push of a button. And I have this sitting right next to my mouse now, so I can just reach out. It kind of does, if you're not a 3D mouse user, it gives you options other than just keyboard. So it's a pretty intense little product, and that's where I'm headed. So I may do some streams on just professional setups, and I use, well, maybe I'll just say this right now, I use a product called the Elcom Huge Trackball. I was a woodworker for a lot of years and had real bad carpal tunnel when I first started working in the office, and the trackballs solved all that. I didn't have to be doing this motion all the time, and the elbow problems got eliminated because you're just basically, I just do this. It's just very little movement of the hand, which is a really nice thing. And this one's got 9 buttons on it, so there's all kinds of options to work with. So that's basically this setup right here. And I'm probably going to cut it short soon. Since I started late, I'll just make it a shorter stream. I think we're getting somewhere here. I think this one I'm gonna do that. Now we'll end up putting a toe kick down underneath there. But then, what I can do, since those two are the same, I can take this and hit scale, which is Z on my keyboard, hit -1. I don't like that. Interesting. Did that? I thought we fixed that. Huh. I guess not. Oh, maybe I thought I fixed it and I didn't. Yeah, that looks better. Should have fixed it there because that's a component. That's right. Okay. And then gonna do 2. And then we're gonna take this down. Like that. Yeah. Okay. All this and get it in the right spot here. Like so. Okay, now I can copy this guy. Move that up. Get that there. Oop, didn't want to do that. And give it 1/2 inch overhang. Okay, and we're starting to see where we're going. I think I am gonna get this guy. And then go 1. And, 0.5 and 0.5. And then we're going to take that thing and we're going to put it right there. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Oh, and I think I'm going to deal with my floor. Okay. All right, we're looking much better now. Right, we got some cabinets. Maybe you'll understand where I'm going once I get the. I'm gonna plan on putting. I think I'm just gonna develop a whole room out of this, and imagine a roof and ceiling and make it into a whole experience. Maybe I'll get somebody to render a final shot, and we'll definitely be working to push this into layout within the next 2 or 3 streams, so you can see how we actually take this raw geometry using this 5 set of scenes and our comprehensive tagging system. And I think that's another thing that we'll be able to do is you'll be able to watch me go through and tag everything after we get it modeled, which will be a good experience. And why I tag what I tag, and you'll be able to see that as it develops in layout. So looking forward to that in the coming streams. Again, this is a sloped live stream. My name is Keith Brooks. I'm one of the founding partners. Tomorrow, same time, 12 o'clock Eastern, one of my other partners, Joanne Sostersky, will be live streaming. You can catch her either live or watch the recorded, posted versions later. Versions, I don't even know what you call them. Video on demand, VODs, or whatever people say. Anyway, that'll be it for this particular show. Thank you for tuning in and giving us a chance to talk to you. We look forward to future episodes. See you later.